How's it going, everyone? We're back with another weekly watch list. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you're having a great Sunday so far. Let's jump right in. First things first, I do want to kick off with Costco and Nebius. So if you look at Costco, I talked about it in the last watch list. Once we reclaim this monthly demand, kind of like trap sellers underneath here, started to push back above on the daily. That's when I entered the swing. On the 7th, it was last Monday. We're up about 125% on this swing right now. My first target was these daily highs. We have a higher volume kind of bull hammer here, if you will. So nothing is telling me to exit this trade as of right now. We chewed through this daily supply at 945, 955. Definitely had some selling in here. Got, it was a little sketchy. On the 4 hour, a little bit. We had some upper wicks, but nonetheless pulled through. Multiple flag breaks, so overall looks really good. My next daily target is going to be up here, these next daily highs at 980, but really that whole psych number of 1,000. And honestly, it would be great if we could get back up to that weekly supply. Now that we're over 100% though on the trade, I will be trailing a stop probably underneath the daily high. So if we break below, close below these daily lows here at 950, 948, I'll exit out of the trade most likely. It is a February 20th expiration. If this was a leap, I'd give it a little bit more room. But on leaps, right, Nebius, okay, data AI center, if you will, man, looking really good, okay. This is up about 30% right now as well. It's a leap, so again, not as much. I believe I got in on the same day, the 7th here. Actually, yeah, it was here on this daily candle here, this red day here. After we had this strong move up. This was not like I was timing up this entry perfectly. This was more so we bounced this demand. I was looking to ride the momentum, and we had this really nice weekly flag forming. I'm betting on the fact that we would get to the top of this flag or even break it, and just betting on AI centers. That's all. I mean, it's like I own shares of Nebius. Why not add a leap with it? If that's really all there is to it. I wasn't trying to time the swing as much like Costco and have a shorter expiration. This is a leap. So, really I'm targeting this flag break and all-time highs, but I want to see what happens at this daily high at 118 first. This zone right here, this 99 to 104 zone, support, resistance, and then we kind of battled through it here as well. Man, it got a little dicey in here as well, but it is a leap, so I was giving it more room. We put in a beautiful daily high volume candle here on Friday, so it looks really, really good. So that's just the progress on the leaps that I have. Do have a leap on HIMS as well, which is just chomping around, bouncing this daily demand, this monthly demand, I should say monthly highs. That's going to be my stop loss. If HIMS does break below this 25.34, I'll look to exit the position. Maybe we push into this. The volume is just really low on HIMS right now. So we'll see if we can get a turnaround. I do like this. I like this demand zone. I had a nice move out of it already. Been selling off for quite a bit. So it's a leap, well, I'll give it time. And then the last one is Tesla. Not a leap though. It's a 220 expiration. This one is down about 30%. It's been very volatile though. I've been up 25, been up 30%. Not looking great on the 4 hour. We bounced a 61 fib. That's where I entered the position. We got up about 30%, 40% up here. Not looking to take any profits there, of course. On a swing, ideally over 50% before I even start trailing a stock. We're looking at swings. The chart is not looking great. I will say Tesla though is just one of those stocks, as you know already, if you're an investor, is obviously a little berserk. So we'll see what happens. Maybe there could be some catalyst that comes in and sends this thing higher. But I would love for it to get back up. I don't know. It's Tesla, but this daily gap looks great. I know that's quite a bit away, but one daily Tesla candle can easily do that. I mean, take one, for example. Here's a strong bullish day, 441 to 462. I mean, we're at 435. One bullish candle could very well put us over 455, and that would go from minus 30% to plus 30%. So given that some time. So I just want to give an update on the swings. Let's get into the levels. Kicking things off with SPY. We have our previous day high, previous day, a pretty clean looking chart for the start of this week. So I am looking forward to that. I will watch puts underneath the previous day low down to 686. We still have that unfilled gap at 683. So let's see if it wants to get some downside after rejecting these all-time highs. As far as calls go, I'll watch calls over the previous day high at 694, ideally over the all-time high zone. Let's go over to QQQ. It's going to have a similar look. QQQ, We're still in like this daily daily triangle. So I have adjusted it a few times though. But as far as just the levels go, if we go back over to the 15-minute, oops, there, oh, wrong one. Previous day high, previous day low. I'll watch puts underneath the previous day low down to 614.56. Again, we do have this trend line here. Doesn't really keep me out of it though. If there's an A plus setup here at the PDL, I'll take my shot there as my edge is at previous day levels and calls over the previous day high, but it needs to be over 627.27 as well. And then we're back up to that daily supply, which has been a brick wall rejection. It's also this daily gap. You know, once QQQ gets over this 628, 630 area, we're definitely going to see a new all-time high. That would be, again, my bet. Apple finally starting to get some movement. It's been consolidating, doing what it usually does. You'll get a big move on Apple, something like this, and then look, just a week of chop right here, big drop. Week of chop, now we're moving down. I've had a swing on watch here at this daily gap for a minute. It's the previous all-time highs and weekly highs. This zone right here, 253. This has to hold. This has to fill. This is a weekly gap. If we can come down here and push into 251 to 253, and we get a good strong daily candle here or two, maybe a 2-day or a 3-day close or even a weekly close, I'll watch the swing calls back to all-time high. So I've been patiently waiting. Did not trade Apple this whole week. Don't like this area. I mean, if I just show you on the 1 hour or the 4 hour, you'll see what I mean. I mean, this has been the whole week of Apple. Like this is not something you day trade in. Would have been a good week to sell options though, for sure. Don't have 100 shares of Apple though. I guess you could do a poor man's cover call or cash secure put or something like that. Nonetheless, let's go over, we already checked Tesla. We won't look at that. We'll look at AMD and NVIDIA. AMD's been on a heater, but I'm not interested in calls till we break this weekly supply. So we have this weekly supply zone here. We rejected out of it last week, sharply rebounded the entire thing. Did not break this daily, this weekly and daily bear flag look that I had. Looks like we're not going to test that weekly high right now, at least. But we're still rejecting that weekly supply. So I am not interested in calls until we get over 238.35. That high here from Thursday. As far as puts go, we could look under previous day low, but we would have to break underneath this previous all-time high zone as well for me at 227. We do have a daily gap close here at 223.6 as well. So not really looking at puts until we break. Wow, look at that. I saw that on Thursday and I was like, holy shit. So this close here, this gap here, I'd like to see, I look at puts underneath this gap. All right. We're going over to NVIDIA. Man, NVIDIA was able to get a day trade off on it this week. Just no follow through. It's just not been a good stock to day trade. So I did take a small loss on that, of course. Still had a really strong green week in the market. January has been great so far. Thank you, God. But, things are really moving nicely for me in day trading, and I'm very happy about that. I'm looking forward to keeping it going. But NVIDIA, big level here at 187. This kind of a direction decider for me. If we fade back under previous day low on 186, I'll be watching puts down at this gap here. Because again, we do have daily gaps on NVIDIA as well. The close of this candle here. And then we have another daily gap that we bounced already once here at 180. So I'll watch for weakness underneath this level here down to 184. As far as calls go, if we go back to the 4 hour, I really don't like calls on NVIDIA unless we break over this high here on November 20th. I just feel like everything underneath that, doesn't look good. This is such a big, massive red day. Anything underneath that, I feel like bears are going to have orders here. So as far as calls go, I would really need to see price get back over this high on 1120, right? What is that here? Up all the way up here at the earnings high of 198. Ever since we had that earnings push, NVIDIA has just been garbage in my opinion. Let's go finish it up with Amazon and Google. Amazon looks pretty condensed. I'll watch calls over the previous day high up to 240 and 241, but ideally over 241 and then all the way up to 247. If I can zoom out here a little bit, it's a nice level here on the hourly. So if we get over that, I'll definitely be watching calls to fill this space here. As far as puts go, pretty simple. This had to hold on the 4 hour. It did. It's a pretty key spot. Right here, 236 to 235. These highs here, this 4 hour high here, holding that area here. So if we break underneath that, I'll look for puts down to 231. And then lastly with Google, Google had a really, really, really nice short trade on Google Thursday. Awesome, A++, true 2 to 3 hour trade, just really nice. I watch puts underneath the previous day low at 327 down to 324.92. I watch calls over 334.65, the previous day high, up to 338, 337. But I'm keeping this 1 hour high zone on the chart. It was this 1 hour high, flipped to support, flipped to support, flipped to support, took the short trade off the rejection when it flipped to resistance on Friday. Beautiful textbook trade. I'm going to keep that on the chart for now. So that's going to be everything I'm watching. We'll see how. I don't think futures is opening up tonight because of the holiday tomorrow. I believe I could be wrong on that. Nonetheless, I am curious to see how they open up. I'll be paying attention to that whenever they do open, and look for a good week of trading this coming week. And by good week of trading, I do not mean green or red. I mean executing my system, stick to my routine. Be fearless, detach from the outcomes, be trustworthy in my execution and my system, and just be a great trader. Let the P&L follow. That's been my biggest thing, and just refining every week with my daily journals, my weekly recaps, reviewing every single part of my system, and just refining it over and over and over. That is how I believe that you make a living from trading. So thank you guys so much for watching. Have an amazing week. Have an amazing day. God bless, and I'll see you in the next watch list. Peace.